Welcome back to another episode of Let's Chat Podcast, y'all. I am your host, JoJo.
And I'm Zyra.
Ooh.
We're back.
First of all, y'all motherfuckers better stop trying to bully me. I don't fuck with it.
Who tried to bully you?
Not everybody, but there was a couple bullies out there talking about something. Where y'all at? Where y'all been? Y'all need to come back.
No, they was bullying me. There's been okay. Listen, people thought that me and JoJo broke up.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of that too.
Why did you guys think that we broke up? Like, people were leaving comments on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, talking about, oh well, I knew this wasn't gonna work out, or just like weird stuff. Like trying to I don't know, like read in between the lines or something like that. But no, we didn't break up. We said we were taking a break from the podcast. We were on a break from the podcast. But we're back. And as you can see, it's a new background, new setting. We're still working on the aesthetics in here. So don't mind the blinds in the back if you're actually watching and not listening.
It is all a work in progress.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like we're always saying it's a work in progress.
We really are.
I mean, it is what it is. But I guess you'd rather have us back than a good background, right? So y'all better not be in the comments talking shit about the background now.
They would never.
Anyway, it's good to see y'all.
Really?
Not that I can see y'all, but you know, it is nice to be back. It's definitely bittersweet. I almost feel like I don't know how to do this anymore.
Yeah, it's giving rusty dusty.
I never said that. Never dusty. It's muscle memory, babe. So never rusty either.
Okay.
Nah. But it's nice to be back. We did receive a lot of like love in the time that we were away. Obviously, not everybody was super ecstatic about it, but for the most part, people are understanding. And very supportive in that time, and we're very open and expressing to us how much they miss us, and how hard it's been each Monday to get through without a little bit of JoJo and Dyra.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time for them.
Yeah,
it's been about what I just counted. It was about 7 Mondays. In between the holidays, of course, Christmas and New Year's and things like that.
Which is crazy because it feels so long for you guys, but I feel like it wasn't long enough.
I feel like I'm conflicted with this because I feel like it did feel like a long time for me.
Why?
It just did. It felt like a long time.
Damn.
Yeah.
I feel like it was not long enough. Not that like I didn't want to come back or anything. I just feel like the break that we took wasn't really like this huge break, It was just like we took a break from doing this to alleviate time to put into like our moving process. For those of you who didn't know or don't know, we did move. I don't remember if we mentioned that in the last video that we had, or the last pod that we had, but we moved.
Yeah.
So all that time that we were really away, it was basically packing, the whole like apartment searching, and I started a new job now that we moved and we're in a different area. So it's like I just feel like it's been a lot of things back to back for me. So I don't feel like I got a break.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely get that. But yeah, we moved. And guess where we moved? We're still in Jersey, but now we're in North Jersey. So a little bit, probably like an hour and a half away. 2 hours if you're counting traffic sometimes. But not too far, but far enough. So yeah, it's been an adjustment. JoJo started her new job. And then I'm still in my work from home job, 9 to 5. And then for those who follow us on social media, I just became an official real estate agent in Jersey. So that's like a new job for me because I'm working obviously with a broker, with other agents, and it's a whole different industry that I am familiar with, not completely. Like I used to work in the mortgage industry, if some of y'all know and have listened to the podcast for that long. And remember when I was laid off and then it was like this whole thing. Um, so yeah, they're kind of throwing me in the fire, and it's been an experience. I mean, if people want to learn more about it, I can definitely answer any questions that you guys may have, because it wasn't easy and it's still not easy. And it's going to be a little bit time consuming, because most people, when they're buying a home, they're looking on the weekends, because most of us work 9 to 5 on the regular. So, like, imagine working and then having to look at homes in the nighttime. Just doesn't make sense for people. Um, so yeah, a lot of transitions that have occupied our time. But like I was thinking about it and I'm like, there's just like no breaks when you're an adult. There's no breaks. And I feel like we're always like waiting for the break, but it's like even on the weekdays when you're working, waiting for the weekends you still have to do things.
Yeah.
It's not like you have a maid and a chef and all these people to do things for you. Like you have to go grocery shopping or meal prep or, clean the house, whatever, take care of your dogs, bath the dogs. If you have kids, you have kids. Like it's like there's literally there's no downtime. And the times that there is, it's just very little, I feel like.
Yeah.
So I'm just getting, I guess I'm just coming to the realization that it's like, okay, I'm an adult. Like I guess this is life. And I guess we're just always gonna be busy.
Literally. It's like, I don't know. It's just like little things. Like you're always gonna have to clean up something. Like you always gotta eat, right? So you always gotta either go get dinner or make dinner. It's like those little things really do like consume most of your time. Um, Believe it or not, her working at home, you would think that she would actually like eat 3 meals a day, and she doesn't. She can't get up off the damn desk. And I'm amazed at that when I'm not here and she's like, I haven't eaten since breakfast, or I just ate and it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm like, how the fuck? You're working from home. Like your refrigerator is literally like 5 steps away.
Yeah. I mean, all right. So while we were out, we were on Patreon too. And like we would do little vlogs and things like that. And I would like meal prep my lunch and things like that. But like if I don't meal prep, I literally just don't eat, because I be busy at work. Like it's like there are some slow days, but most days are busy, or like you're in a meeting. Um and yeah, like I feel like when you're in the zone, you just kind of forget to eat, which is honestly okay.
Not
So
me.
I'm not gonna get into the eating
I'm
thing,
fluffy.
because because
I'm
the
kidding.
past few weeks, if all right, so there's people who have endometriosis who I've talked to on Instagram, but I had mentioned that my health was really bad, and it still really isn't the best, because I have a chronic illness, which means that it doesn't leave. And it's like an autoimmune disease, which means that literally it's just your body is fighting against itself. And I'm in a flare up, which means that I'm not in remission, which means that I'm not doing well. So eating has been so bad. And as y'all know, me and Jojo love to go out to eat. And
Eating is one of my love languages.
yeah, we love to go out to eat. There's like sometimes restaurants contact us and will, say, we love for you guys to join us for like a free, like in exchange for a free meal if you guys can post. So we're like, of course, free food. Are you kidding me?
Add me in.
Right. So in the past few weeks, um, I haven't been doing well. So I had to go to a dietitian. It's this whole thing. And they were like, you should try a gluten-free diet. And I was like, I don't know about that. A gluten-free diet, it seems very, very, very hard. Like literally everything has gluten in it. Oreos have gluten in it. Like the things that you don't think have gluten in it have gluten in it. And I really didn't understand why people would be gluten-free. I know that there's people who have celiac disease who do it, but I'm like, why do other people do that? But it is because some people their body just can't tolerate it. And I have gone 28 years with no issues. I mean, some issues, but it's like it's never been this bad. So I'm on this gluten-free diet and Jojo isn't. So it's just all over the place over here. Like, I'm like, I don't even know what to eat. And yes, there are gluten-free options, but you really got to read those ingredients because there's other things in there that they add in that I can't have, like all these like processed sugars and things like that, artificial sweeteners, things like stevia, all this shit that I really love and eat on a daily basis. My dietitian was like, no more of that for the next 6 weeks. Let's see how you do. So that has been a transition as well. Like, it's crazy. And I love North Jersey because there's a lot of places to eat up here. So many restaurants. And I'm like, I need to feel better so then like we could go out to eat and like have a good time and you could like explore and like see what's out here because you're not from here. So it's been an adjustment for you.
Yeah.
What do you think about North Jersey so far? For those who are just listening, her face, she put her face like if something stinked. She put her face like,
nah. I one of the things I think that I can't get right with is the traffic. I know, like, okay, in South Jersey, traffic's a bitch. We know that. Like, it especially during rush hour times and all that. But up here, it's like 10 times that. Like, if I already thought it's bad, and it is bad in South Jersey because you got, the Philly highway and like Atlantic City, all that shit, right? All those highways that come in together. But here you have an abundant amount of different highways and like merges, like merging in and out of these damn highways, and like people don't care about their life. They don't care about their life. They don't care about people's lives on the road. They don't give a fuck about their car. So I've noticed that people just drive so recklessly out here. Recklessly. Like they will give their life to not let you in a fucking lane, or like to not sit at a red light. They will run a red light.
All right, this is why I don't agree with you, because I used to live in Miami, and I swear to God, when I lived in Miami, I said there can't be any more worse drivers. I feel like New York and Miami are like top.
I feel like drivers out here try to bully you, and it's like, bitch, we don't really live in the city. Like, you don't gotta bully me.
What, like New Yorkers?
Yeah.
Oh, with their license plate, like you could tell.
And parking out here is bananas, crazy. I don't get down with the parking. The parking is crazy. I try to go to little Tijuana,
in Newark.
Yeah, and the parking on a Sunday, they was double parking in the street, like literally, like not just I'm standing like I'm sitting in my car like waiting for. No, people were parked, car off, double parked in the street, and I'm like.
But people do that in Philly too.
Is this for real?
People do that in Philly too.
That's crazy.
But you gotta this is the thing. You gotta have patience with parking over here. But I know that you're not used to that, because it's like,
I feel like if you have an establishment, you gotta have a parking lot.
And they had one, and they have one.
Barely. I drove around like 5 times with my mom. I dropped my uncle. I was with my mom and my uncle. I dropped my uncle off. It was like, yo, go in there, get us a table. I'm gonna drive around. Me and my mom drove around, and I was so determined to actually find a spot. Little do you know, because I really wanted to eat there. And he was all on the phone with me, telling me like, yeah, it's lit in here, blah blah blah. So I'm like, fuck yeah, like it's my first little outing. I've been here for 3 weeks, and I could not find parking for anything. And I was super sick about it because I didn't want to come back and then go over there to this other place. I was like, I really wanted to go there. So I was super sick about it. But there was no type of way for me to even finesse parking, because I would have finessed it. Yeah. If I had a little bit of spot, I'd have made it work. But there was no way. And I was like, this is crazy.
You need to Uber there. Now we know. Like a lot of people take Ubers here, because there's Ubers everywhere.
Everywhere.
But yeah, the parking situation, of course, is tragic. That's always going to be a problem. Luckily, we have parking where we live, so we don't got to worry about that.
Yeah, that was a big thing. I was like, I can't be the one driving. Like, I'm the only one who really drives in and out. I actually have to go to work. So parking was a necessity for me, because I was like, there's no fucking way that I'm coming home and having to look for parking. Yeah. At 7 o'clock in the morning. I work overnights again. Yeah. So I was like, that is not an option. Like wherever we go, we have to like there has to be parking offered.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily we got that.
Yeah, that was like a must have for her. And laundry too was a must have.
Yeah.
She had a lot of must haves.
What can I say? When you're fucking spoiled.
Yeah, so now we live in an apartment. So we had to get rid of a lot of our stuff. We had to sell it on Facebook Marketplace. If you've ever sold anything on Facebook Marketplace, it truly is a tragedy. People try to scam you all the time. It's honestly very annoying. So I was like, you know what? I'm only gonna take cash because people try to do the whole I'll cash app you or like I'll Venmo you. No, 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 no. Just bring me the money. There was this one girl who showed up at the house. She said,
Wow.
I told her the price of the chairs. 4 chairs, very nice chairs that my mom got me. Nothing. Like there was no scratch on it or nothing. And they were like beige chairs. And she comes up, she come mind you, she's late. And I had told her a specific time. We were just waiting for her. Like literally, that was the only thing we were waiting for. U-Haul was packed and everything. She said, "Sorry, I fell asleep. I'm on my way." I'm like, who uses that excuse anymore? That I fell asleep. I thought it was weird, but I was like, all right. She shows up and she's looking a little weird. And I'm like, here we go. So she's looking at the chairs. She's looking at the chairs. You guys have brought the chairs outside. And then she was like, so can I take them and then I'll give you half of the money and then I'll come back and then I'll give you the other half. I said, no. I said, I had told you that the cash in full when you take the chairs, like I'm not letting you take the chairs and you could give me half. Am I dumb? Like you knew she wasn't going to come back. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to put the chairs back. So I started literally just putting the chairs back into the house. And she was just like in shock. And I'm shocked that you showed up and thought that this was going to work. So I was like, you know what? I can't. So it was a struggle to sell those things online. But yeah, smaller place, which is also like a transition and a big thing, I guess.
We're back to setting up and breaking down the pod set.
Yeah.
Which is not ideal for anybody who does this.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure that out. I would have loved to just have it in the living room, but the way that it's set up is our couch is too big.
Yeah. We have a nice ass couch now. I actually love our couch, but all still a work in progress.
Uh-huh. But yeah, this episode has been all over the place. It's definitely not an episode for new listeners because there's nothing gay that we're talking about. But I guess it's really like a catch up for our usual listeners.
So for those of you who don't know, while we're in the topic of giving news, we are no longer doing Patreon. I don't know if that was said. I think it was said in the live. We're no longer going to do Patreon because as much as we wanted to give more impersonal content, it was initially with the thought of like, oh, we'll be able to give you guys more content, to get to know us a little bit more, have vlogs and audios and things where we're a little bit more unfiltered, and it would be less maintenance. Well, I mean, for the most part, it was less maintenance. It was just a matter of like, keeping up with it. Patreon essentially is a platform where you guys subscribe and pay for a subscription. So we just didn't feel like it was fair. Like we don't want to just take your money to take your money.
Mm-hmm.
So we felt like, we weren't really giving our best, and that was more so because we weren't, how you say it? We just had a lot of things going on. So being as though we couldn't give you guys like us at our fullest capacity because we were, into so many other things, as we were saying, like this move and then coming back to the pod. It was just too much to have to come back to. So we decided that, with us coming back, that the podcast would be the main focus, and obviously it would need more of our time and energy. as well as coming back and having our consistency with it, that this was more important than Patreon. So if you subscribe to us within the last however long we had it, thank you. We appreciate it. We love you. For those of you who actually have all the original merch that we initially dropped, you're a real one. And we will miss y'all, but you guys can catch us here. So
yeah.
What we plan to do for some of you who used to come on the Zoom with us too, we're gonna start doing lives. I think lives whenever we can. It's not gonna be, I mean, it will be something we still need to talk about, but it may be scheduled, it may not be scheduled. We might just pop up on Instagram or TikTok one day and just bang out a live. So, just be on the lookout for that. Have your notifications on for our platforms, and you can catch us on a live and chat with us there. I feel like that's the most easiest and sustainable for everybody.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Yeah, so it was basically one or the other. It couldn't be both. It couldn't be Patreon and the podcast. We're managing just a lot of things, so we just want to be transparent with you guys with everything. But yeah. So unpacking the U-Haul. I guess what were your thoughts before moving?
First of all, if any of y'all follow me on TikTok and you saw the video where I posted like the whole U-Haul and my friends helping me pack, that was like the gayest moment for me, because I was like, wow. When you moved down the first time, you had the U-Haul, we unpacked it and shit, and then when we moved into the next house, we unpacked it, but I had never driven it. I had never packed it and unpacked it. So I was like, oh my God, like, I got third time's a charm, but like I had all my little gay friends helping me, and it was just wholesome moment. What was the question? I forgot.
I said, what were your thoughts like prior to moving?
I was stressed. I had a lot of mixed emotions about moving. And for me it was, I really had this part of me where I was excited and like ready to take on a new experience and being in a new environment, because I feel like essentially I thrive in the uncomfortable. I just forget what it's like to have so many ups and down emotions about it, like being in the whole unknown and like lost error where you're like trying to find your footing and starting over and shit. So yeah, I was excited and I guess just a little nervous about it at the same time, because it's just like, it's not like, at least for in our situation, where it was like I left everything. I don't have a job. Like I didn't have a job when I left. It's not like, all my family and friends, my support system is still there. Like everything that I had was there. And I'm coming out here with literally nothing but me, myself, and I, and like whatever we got.
But you had a job.
Well, luckily I had, right, that, but still was like what I'm saying is I had nothing that was of comfort or familiar, right? Like you're coming back to your familiarity, and it was like I didn't have any of that to like subtly come in,
Right.
So I think for a moment when I realized that, I was like, oh shit, like it's not even like you just got one comfort, so I just thought like, damn, that would be something interesting and different. But I mean, I'm here now, and day by day I am finding comfort. My family came and visited like last weekend, and it was like, just those little things that kind of like make it seem like, girl, you over exaggerating, like it wasn't that big of a deal. So I don't know. I think once I get into spaces to where it's like, oh, I could say that that's mine and I get to be me in that environment as how I was back home, I'll feel like more comfortable. I put a PSA out saying, hey, who lives in North? I need friends. Like shit like that. I don't know.
I feel like you're taking it harder than what I thought you would. Like I feel like for me it was like I did the same thing. Like I moved to South Jersey. We were there for almost 3 years. I had nobody in South Jersey at all. And the reason why we moved back, for people who keep asking, is um I wasn't feeling my best. Like emotionally and physically, everything was just terrible. Like, and I feel like when your health is bad, like everything else around you isn't, I don't know. It's just everything around me, I feel like it was just not going well. And most of my doctors are, no, all of my doctors are up here in North Jersey. So I will have to drive all the time, almost 2 hours to go to doctor's appointments. Sometimes I will have to wake up at like at 5, 6 a.m. to drive up in the morning, go to the doctor's. I'll work from like an off little coffee shop, or I'll go to my mom's house, then I'll drive back. And it was just like a lot of driving back and forth to see these doctors, and like the follow-ups were sometimes very short. And I'm like, okay, so I drove 2 hours and the doctor's appointment would be like 15 minutes. And I wasn't getting any better. So I was just like, yeah, this is like a constant thing. And I talked to Jojo about it, and then that's when she decided to look at jobs up here, up north. And then another reason was that I wanted to practice real estate in North Jersey. Because North Jersey is where I'm from. It's where I'm familiar. It's where people know me. Like most people I went to school with. It's where my friends are. It's where my family is. So I just feel like if I'm gonna start this new career path, let me test it out in North Jersey, because I know that's where I'm most comfortable. Even though I know in South Jersey it would have gone well, but I don't know how well it would have gone. My sister also works in a real estate office here, so I have that support system. So I just feel like I needed a little bit of support, and I wasn't getting that in South Jersey.
She wasn't built for South Jersey.
She wasn't. There's nothing wrong with South Jersey. I feel like there's a lot of good things about South Jersey.
There is. You're either you either know it and you love it, or you don't. And I knew you were never gonna love it before you even moved out there. You didn't even want to move out there. The only reason why it was because, well, you work from home. It was easier for you to do it, and it was to save you more money than what you were paying up here.
Oh yeah.
When you were living out here by yourself. So I always knew that there was gonna come a time where it was like, oh, like I want to go back up north. And I guess like I didn't think that I was gonna have such a hard time with it either. And I know that, and we've talked about it. I was like, I can go up there. I think I'll thrive up there. I think like the type of person that I am, and like my personality, and like the environment, I feel like I could grow out there. So that's kind of what, other than like her having, the opportunity to come back up here and have her support system, and knowing like her medical issues, like she needed this more than anything. So, I wanted to be the supportive partner to give her that. As she said, she did move out to South Jersey. She dealt with it for a little bit, and like, whatever, it wasn't for her. So that's why I say like I was excited to come up here, but I think in the way that it happened, that's what made it harder. I don't think that this would have been such a hard transition as it has been had we, we been in a better place prior to like the entire transition happening. Yeah. I think that's what made it harder for me, because now it was like you coming up here, you already had everything, but it's like you also had your job. So I didn't have anything. Even though I came up here with starting a new job, it's not like it was a familiar thing to me still.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what I was coming into, which is fine. That's whatever. But it was also like, I don't know, I guess a part of me felt like insecure, because it's like I'm in an unknown place where I don't know everything, or like I'm in a job where I'm basically a rookie all over again, so I don't know anything or anybody. You're obviously with this real estate thing, which was the whole purpose. You know, you spent all this time studying, spending money on these tests. Like, hell yeah, like I want you to be able to use that license. But I think like now realizing like, oh shit, she's doing it, like that's great. And it's like you're going up and I'm like, I don't know where the fuck I'm going. So I think like that like that playing in my head for me is like, oh man. Yeah. I'm like a sourpuss a little bit.
I don't know. I have confidence that you're gonna figure it out, and I feel like
I do.
As someone who's moved a lot, obviously for me, it was like easy peasy. Like I'm like, girl, we just gonna move and that's it. Like it's right around the corner. It's an hour and a half away. Like I feel like I am a little bit insensitive to it. I'm gonna be honest, just because I have moved so much. But like hearing you, I guess, talk about it more, I could understand where you're coming from. And I remember like I used to work with college students, and a lot of them would get homesick because they were like, I'm not familiar with with nobody here. I don't know where I am. I don't have any friends. So they would stay in their room all day. And I'm like, you have to come out. You have to like leave your comfort zone and literally just go outside, even if you're going for a walk. And I feel like this week you started doing that. And it is cold outside. So it's really hard to even go outside and go on a walk or go explore and like
honestly, you know, it like I start losing my mind if I stay inside for too long. Like I can be a homebody, but it's like you're working. You work, she works through the day and she works, you know, in the living room. So it's like I like feel like she's occupied. I can't bother her. I can't have her, you know, attention. And then it's like I don't want to be like an interruption. So it's like that's why like when we were in the old apartment too and you was working in the living room, it was just like I need to get out of here. I gotta go do something because like I don't want to interrupt her and we're not interacting. So it's like I can say that I have a hard time being in her presence and not have interaction. That bothers the fuck out of me.
I don't know why. I be having my headphones on sometimes.
I'm not saying I can't, but I'm saying like, you know, if I'm in the other room or whatever, like when we were in the house, we had 3-4 different rooms. We could just leave each other the fuck alone. Like that's no problem. But I don't know, like with certain things, like if I can't go a long period of time, like just with a little bit of interaction, because you're like the only person in the house. Like, I mean, I talk to the dogs all day too, but still. So I just feel like, yeah, I gotta go outside. I gotta do something. I need something to entertain me, or like just to be like indulged in and stuff. Because like you stay busy.
You gotta go to a coffee shop or something. But I think I need to do that too. Like I need to get out. Because working from home is cool and all, but I feel like after a while you do start going a little crazy. You know? It's like being home all day. You're like, I haven't gone outside. The only reason I go outside is to walk the dogs. Obviously now with this real estate jobs, sometimes things pop up. Sometimes I'm able to pop out. So it's like, I think things are going to start changing for me, but
yeah, she about to be outside without me.
If you need a real estate agent, you know who to contact. Okay, yeah, I will work with you in your budget. But yeah, I'll be doing rentals as well. So people who are not ready to buy a home, you can contact me for rentals too. So
now tell your broker to pay for this ad.
Right. No, so
because we ain't advertising for free.
Right. So I work it with a team, because with a team, like you're more like how you say, like motivated. And tell me why the team leader introduces me and he's like, yeah, she's an influencer. I'm like, I am not an influencer. That is not what I told you. I told you that I have a podcast. And that's it.
I mean, what's considered the difference?
I said I would say that I'm a podcaster and maybe content creator, because there has been things that we've done that we got paid for. But that's besides the point. We went off track. I think that right now we're going through a phase of like trying to fit into our new schedule and like new environment, and our lives are really different. Like Jojo works overnight. I'm working in the daytime. Like we're eating different meals. Like we're literally trying to figure out our life right now, because It's like night and day. And like this has happened before. This is not the first time. This is literally the third time that we move. But right now, it's just like we're so far from what you're comfortable with. But I feel like we also moved at like a weird time because it's cold outside. But I love North Jersey in the summertime. Like there's so many things to do. We're so close to Jersey City. We're so close to Weehawken, Hoboken. Like I feel like we're gonna meet new people and make new friends. And it's definitely gonna take a while. We just gotta give it some time. So I wouldn't worry about that. And then you had mentioned something about like I feel like you're like moving up and I'm right here. You literally just started this job. And I know that in the next few months things are going to change for you. And this job may pay for like your bachelor's if you decide to go back to school, which I'm like, "Oh, that's a plus." That's like a really big benefit. So just got to give it some time.
It's just weird cuz it's like I spent the last like 6-7 years of my life secure.
I think that people change jobs all the time.
Yeah,
and with this new generation,
you say that.
With this,
You
I believe in jobs
you
like it's
be
my,
bouncing.
I believe in jobs like I'm changing my panties. I don't care.
You have you know the necessary things on your background. Like you have background experience in so many different things that you know they can be like, oh, I could take that, or like that could count here. You know, like I don't have that. I don't have like I got my associates. Don't get it fucked up, but it's like I don't have all these extra tags in my background that could be like, oh yeah, like that could suffice here.
But you have transferable skills.
Yeah, but
and honestly, it's about who you know. We all know that. It's about who you know, not what you know. Because when I had that corporate job, in the other mortgage company, my supervisor there was making like 6 figures and didn't have a bachelor's. So it's like, I don't know. Life is crazy out here. I feel like now companies are being okay with you not having a bachelor's or you maybe being in the process of getting it. So I don't know. I read somewhere that people change jobs a lot. Like it's not uncommon. And like you meet people that they're older and they were like, I was a teacher or I was a veteran. I went to the army and then I was a teacher and then I became a nurse. And then I'm like, wow, you did a lot. And like I feel like I have had a lot of jobs. And I'm gonna keep having new jobs. I don't care.
as you should.
But yeah. There's this article called an LA Therapist Tips for Navigating Big Life Changes and Your Relationship. And they say periods of change and transition can be especially impactful on relationships. It can be challenging to balance a big life change while also navigating and holding space for a relationship with your partner or other meaningful relationships. Sometimes change affects one partner more acutely. I don't know if that's how you say it, than the other, and this difference in experience can feel difficult to manage. 6 ways to navigate your relationship and big life changes. Number 1, open communication. 2, prioritize self-care. 3, lean on your support system. 4, interstate adaptability. 5, prioritize quality time. And 6, work with a therapist. Have you been doing any of these?
I'm working on my self-care.
Oh, should be going to the gym. We got a gym in the building, y'all. Por lo menos.
I'm not doing nothing crazy, but I'm trying
It doesn't matter. You're still doing something.
give in to myself a little bit. I mean, since I'm all I got right now, so I think that, and what was the other one? I think self-care has just been a big one for me right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think working out and going to the gym is always a plus.
Exploring, like I went to this park the other day and it was so beautiful, and I was there for like 2 hours.
Damn.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize it.
I was walking around. I sat in the car. I was enjoying myself. I was like, oof, what a relief. I went and got boba tea.
And the place was good, right?
Yeah, it was. It was good. So I think little mini journeys like that, where I like, you know, try something new or like uncover new environment or area that I, haven't been to.
And there's gonna be so many places like that.
Yeah.
So many like little hidden gems, which I love. For me, I have been trying to work on self-care, but it's more of like I told you, I feel like right now my health is what I want to get to normal. Like I want to be able to eat a full meal with no issues. And right now it's like if I were to eat something, like my stomach would hurt, I'm running to the bathroom. Like it's like TMI, like it's like too much. And I'm like, nah, this is not no way to live. Especially for us that we like to go out, we like to eat. And like I would say for the most part, I'm a pretty healthy person, but this is literally out of my control. So I'm just trying to find like what works with my body and like what I can eat. But it's been hard. And basically I just have a lot of inflammation in my body. So if anyone has any tips, I know there's an RN that was messaging us on Instagram asking like when we're gonna come back. So I need some tips from like the nurses and stuff on like, I don't know, maybe some home remedies because they be giving me all the medication. And right now I'm on steroids, which makes my face fat. And I'm really annoyed by it. And I want to get off of it because why does the weight have to come to my face and nowhere else? Very annoying. Everyone's like, I don't see it. I see it. So that's all that I care about because I see it.
I be feeling bad because I be like, "Ooh, let's go eat this," or like, "I'm about
She
to
said,
make
let's go eat
this."
tacos. I said, I can't eat tacos.
I was even gonna make tofu tacos, and she was like, "I can't have tofu," and I'm like, "What the fuck can you have at this point?" Because I just can't. Like, especially like, she cook, but I'm the main cook in the house. Let's be real, and I be ready to whip shit up. And I be, throwing down, and it make me happy to know like she gonna eat my food, she gonna like it, well, wow, hitting craving, hitting spots, and I can't fucking do that because she can't eat shit.
Literally. It's so annoying.
And every time I think she can eat it, she's like, nah, I can't have. Like she's been on a million different diets. So my point being is that every time, I'm like, okay, I found something that she can have. She's on a new diet. She can no longer have it. I just can't keep up.
It's for 6 weeks, so we'll see how it goes. Like, and if you try to cheat, your body will feel it. Because the other day I wasn't feeling well, and it's because I think I had coffee with like I went to Starbucks to have like coffee.
Oh, wow.
I had a long day, so I was like, why deserve a coffee like a regular latte with vanilla? And guess what my fucking body said? No, bitch, you're gonna run to the bathroom. So yeah, because coffee has sugar. So I also have to limit my sugar. And as y'all know, there's sugar in everything. Literally everything. So when I drink my
she's a super sweet kind of gal.
When I drink my coffee in the morning, I can't even add sugar. I have to add monk fruit.
It's not bad.
It's not terrible. But it's something different. So, we're getting used to it, I guess. We'll see how it goes.
We're living separate lives.
I don't understand. All right, so let's get into the family meeting. Some of these, if you guys went to our live on TikTok, I hope that we're not repeating ourselves, but we did read some of these on TikTok. I met my wife online and we were married 6 months later. Wow, very quick. We have been together for 5 years, but her gaming addiction ruined it for me. We had many conversations about it over multiple years and nothing changed. I asked for a divorce and papers were signed. We had no contact for a few months, and then she convinced me we were meant to be together and we should do couples counseling. We got back together and got remarried on Halloween. Ever since, I've been feeling like I don't feel the same. I love her and I don't want to hurt her, but I'm hoping my feelings change so I don't feel trapped in my choice to make things work between us.
You got married twice?
Wow, that's crazy. To the same person.
I mean, why did you do it the second time? If you like, okay, we get it the first time, you high on life. But then the second time, it was kind of like you kind of know. You know what it is now.
She said she convinced her.
Excuse me. Nobody can do that much convincing. You already knew the person. So was it that she convinced you, or like you convinced yourself? Because nobody forces you to do anything. Nobody's that persuasive to be like, we do this again. I mean, obviously you had to feel some type of way to want to do it, to go through with it again. Mm-hmm. But I mean, damn, if I would have went through it a second time, I don't think I would have married. I would have just been like, let's just date, and see how I feel. I understand wanting to like go through it again just to see maybe if you were wrong the first time, or like maybe if things are different. But to go as far as marrying them again, that was a bold move. But if you know in your heart and what it is that you feel just is not gonna be able to hold you along, might be time to go again.
I wonder if you guys maybe they did couples counseling. Mm-hmm. So I'm like wondering if they did couples counseling and then it was like, okay, things are better, let's get married again. Like, I don't know.
That can make sense, but like, at what point do you know, like, oh, we should stop coming to couples counseling then?
If things are going well, I guess. It's kind of like therapy. Like, sometimes you just like, I think I'm good for now. We don't have to schedule anything. I'm good. Yeah.
Until you're not.
Yeah, right? Oh. But yeah, many questions. I don't know. I have no comment on this. Gaming addiction. Have you ever dated a gamer?
Nah, so people been asking me recently if I play games, and I'm like, I'm gonna be real with you. Yeah, like I don't play video games. One, because I have really bad sweaty hands. So the feeling of a game controller in my hand while my hands are like in a pool of sweat, it is the most skeeviest thing. Like, I used to play games when I was younger. Mm-hmm. And I enjoyed them. I grew up with brothers. Come on. But at some point I was just like, I can't do it anymore. I kicked it. I lost interest because I get bored really fast when it comes to games. Mm-hmm. I am a movie, TV show kind of person. She really is. I'd rather watch something and become emotionally invested in it and create imaginary stories in my head than to play a video game smacking people around. Yeah. So, but yeah, people have been asking me that, and I'm like, I don't. If I'm gonna play any type of game, it has to be like a physically active game.
You play basketball?
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah, but like game, like consoles and stuff, nah.
Yeah, we don't got none of that here, so sorry. All right, next question. Hello, my girlfriend and I took a 3-month break, but we were still together, just not living in the same place. We ended the lease at our apartment and went to live at our mom's house. We recently got another apartment together, and right now we're doing really good, but we had not had sex in months, not even at our new place. I'm concerned that there's a disconnection sexually. Even before we moved out of our first place, we stopped having sex, so this is nothing new. But I thought that time apart would help spark intimacy again. We've been together for 9 years, so maybe time has a lot to do with that. Any advice on what I can do or how I can bring up the conversation to her?
I feel like it's a little natural, especially when you've been together that long, to kind of fall off the intimacy wagon. But I don't know, that's kind of like hard, because you naturally, I think you want to think like, oh, like, all right, we haven't had any intimacy in a while, but the time will come, we'll get right back into it, and it'll be like, we didn't have this huge break. But I don't know if it's just me, but it's a little weird when it happens again, because you're like, damn, it hasn't happened in so long. And I don't know what I was watching where somebody was talking about this, but they were like, people feel nervous again. Like, and it's not, it's not like your first time nervous. It's like, oh, well, we haven't been this intimate or shared this intimate thing in a while. Like, is it going to be weird? Like, are they still going to be attracted to that? Like, it's just a lot of questions that like kind of don't make it appealing to want to like share that intimacy so quickly again. Mm-hmm. But I think like obviously you would like to jump back into it, but I do think like having the conversation about it prior to just jumping into it would make more sense, because it's like, okay, well, hey, we haven't had these moments in a while. What would be a good way for us to ease back into it? What do you feel comfortable with? A lot of things could have changed in that time to where you can't just get back into it and do it how you used to and think that that's how they want it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I do think that like bringing it up is like well, how do we open that space up to be comfortable with each other, to feel that intimacy. And I don't know, I forget, I wish I knew the girl's Instagram. There's like a queer therapist or something that I follow on Instagram, and she goes over a lot of these things.
I think the living at their mom's house was probably tough because they were probably like, oh, I'm not gonna do anything here. But I can definitely understand it being awkward for the first time again, because you're like, I don't know, you're just overthinking. I think you're just like overthinking in your head. But I think a conversation is necessary because you have to know, like, do they feel uncomfortable about something? Like, is it their health? Is it like their like how they look physically? Like, is something new? Like, what's going on, to figure out like what the issue is. But if you guys have been dating for like 9 years, I'm sure that you guys can talk about it without it being awkward. But I think it's something to bring up for sure, to see like what's going on.
You'll get that spark back.
But I also think it's hard for like women to initiate things.
Why?
How do you initiate?
Me?
Yeah.
How do I initiate?
Oh yeah, it's just a question. Or how would you like to initiate?
I don't know. It's like I feel like it's not always the same, but I think for me personally is like affection. If I'm showing affection, I'm not saying that automatically is like what I'm trying to hint to you, but I guess for me it's like it's a vibe type of thing. If like I'm showing affection and you're giving that affection back, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and shoot my shot. Like, and if you let me get it there, it's gonna get there. But yeah, I think just like the affection, the little bit of like touching, caressing, kissing, that's what does it for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good tip.
Yeah. What's your initiation?
I feel like I would like my initiation to be.
Are you an initiator?
I would like. I feel like sometimes okay. Yeah, sometimes no.
You would like what?
I would like to initiate by like a massage.
Yeah, that's like a form of like infection,
for sure,
or like embracing. Touch usually like gets it there, but I think like that all plays together in the kissing, the like soft touching, but it's like all a vibe.
Yeah,
kind of just in the moment. But I agree, massage definitely like starts the fun. But you got to talk about it and figure it out. There are such things as sex therapists as well, and sometimes it may not be the just being affectionate and sensual and like whatever. Maybe it's just time to try something new. Maybe the way the intimacy that you guys know and used to share, maybe there's just a better way or a new way of doing it, and it might be time to just explore.
Right.
I feel like sometimes people like obviously you think you know your person, but maybe they don't want to be the same person that they've been. They want to tap into something else, so you got to tap into it with them. But that's all the juice I got.
I like that. All right, guys. Well, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Deuce, mother goose.
Bye.